police union in Chicago is estimating that 3,200 Chicago police are defying the vaccine, and they will be off the job. That means off the streets. What is that doing to the American people and their feeling of safety? It's very concerning.
In Florida, not only are we going to want to protect the law enforcement and all the jobs, we're actually actively working to recruit out-of-state law enforcement because we do have needs in our police and our sheriff's departments. So in the next legislative session, I'm going to hopefully sign legislation that gives a $5,000 bonus to any out-of-state law enforcement that relocates in Florida. So NYPD, Minneapolis, Seattle, if you're not being treated well, we'll treat you better here. You can fill important needs for us, and we'll compensate you as a result.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis wants to sign legislation offering $5,000 bonuses to police officers who've lost their job for not getting vaccinated. As vaccine mandates loom nationwide, we've seen large percentages of police forces across the country protest and even quit in the face of having to get inoculated. This tells us quite a lot about how important public safety is to certain officers, doesn't it? I'm Caroline Johnson. Thanks for watching. DeSantis put out the call on Fox, saying that, quote, NYPD, Minneapolis, Seattle, if you're not being treated well, we'll treat you better here. You can fill important needs for us, and we'll compensate you as a result. This comes as the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund found that COVID-19 related deaths accounted for more law enforcement deaths last year than all other causes combined. Let's repeat that. The biggest cause of death for police officers last year was COVID. DeSantis added that the state is, quote, actively working to recruit officers from outside of Florida to fill needs in police and sheriff's departments, and he welcomes law enforcement personnel who risk losing their jobs for defying city and state vaccine requirements. Let's be clear, though, that vaccine mandates have also led to a surge in vaccinations in most places they've been implemented. But it's also just as important to note the alarming amount of law enforcement officers who are planning to abandon their jobs as public safety officers so that they can retain their right to spread highly communicable disease. In Chicago, more than 1/3 of its nearly 13,000-member police force are defying the city's mandate to report their vaccination status. And in Seattle, 6 police officers and 11 firefighters face termination after its vaccine mandate went into effect October 18th. In Los Angeles, about 30% of the LAPD has not been vaccinated.
End up losing their jobs or voluntarily walking away. You're going to have huge disruptions in medical, in logistics, in law enforcement. And so in Florida, our policy is very clear. We're going to have a special session, and we're going to say nobody should lose their job based off these injections. It's a choice you can make, but we want to make sure we're protecting your jobs and your livelihoods.
All of this leads to the related point that if Congress isn't going to do anything to defund the police, as activists have been calling for, maybe the COVID vaccine will do the trick. It seems to be doing so already. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.